How much do you think the United States spends annually on healthcare? Half a trillion, maybe. Maybe even a trillion. Incorrect. In 2020 alone, the United States spent 4.1 trillion on healthcare alone. I'm sure you've been sick or injured at least once in your life. How were you treated? But more importantly, how did you pay? Did you use insurance? Did you have to copay and use out-of-pocket costs? Did these make you feel like that paying for your treatment was more important than you receiving the treatment and bettering it for yourself? This is just one of the core issues at hand for the United States healthcare system. Before I proceed, I'd like to present you with some background information on the topic. There are those who believe that a system of national healthcare would be detrimental to the United States as for what it stands. One of the most powerful arguments comes from Britannica's Pros and Cons of National Healthcare. They state that implementing a system of national healthcare would lead the United States away from capitalism and towards socialism, since it's the government regulating healthcare availability and affordability instead of the free market. Even with such viewpoints, I'm here today to convince you that the United States should indeed implement a system of national healthcare. I'm going to present you with three main points. Firstly, the extreme prices of healthcare in the United States. Secondly, the excessive commercialization of healthcare. And finally, the success other nations have had implementing systems of national healthcare. Let's begin by examining my first point, where I'll discuss the extreme prices of healthcare in America today. In an article from MIT Medical, they state that a broken leg can cost over $7,500 to get treated for, and a 3-night hospital stay can cost over $30,000. Not only are the prices extremely high, but they vary all across America. To get a blood test in Baltimore, you could be spending $22 to $37, but in El Paso, Texas, you would be spending $144 to $952. This price variation is just another one of the core issues at hand in the United States healthcare system. In addition to costs being extremely high, healthcare is not always readily available. Non-emergency appointments can take up to months to get an appointment for, and emergency situations where a wait could be lethal, oftentimes the wait is a bit too long. Let's move on to my next point. The unbridled commercialization of healthcare in the United States. In a journal from Hindawi Biomed International, out-of-pocket costs impact not only a person's thoughts on the government, but also on overall happiness in life in general. In a survey conducted on contentness with healthcare with the United States and similar countries, United States citizens were marginally unhappier with their current healthcare system compared to other first world nations. This is due to not only the prices, but the hectic environment of an insurance provider. Insurance providers will lure you in with a plan that is curated to your needs, but you will instead be stuck with a one size fits all plan that just broadly covers what you need. In a study from the Public Library of Medicine, where they used a side by side comparison of the United States and other similar countries such as the United Kingdom and Canada, we see an unbridled amount of commercialization. The United States spends over 2 times more than other countries, and yet we still ranked 21st in overall healthcare, 43rd in life expectancy, had a 6.1 infant mortality rate, and out of high income countries, we ranked 22nd out of 27 countries. Let me let me bring your attention to this graph here. Here we see the waste in the United States healthcare system. Excessive admin costs, 190 billion. Fraud, 75 billion. Misprevention opportunities, 55 billion. Unnecessary services, 210 billion. And inefficiently delivered services, 130 billion. And simply prices that are too high, 105 billion. This wasted money could go to save millions of lives, and yet we waste it. Just another example of the United States healthcare system failing. Finally, my last point. Other countries have had immense amounts of success with systems of national healthcare where the United States has failed. For example, post COVID-19, where many nations around the world were struggling to get back on their infrastructure. I'm going to present you with the example of Sweden. They face similar problems such as the United States: understaffed hospitals, not enough space in hospitals. But with their system of national health care, they are able to resolve this problem, as solutions made were universal, and that without having to contact so many insurance providers to get the people the treatment they needed, they put the health in healthcare, and they put their patients above all else and got them the treatment they needed as soon as they had it available. Finally, in a study by Pauline Lockhart, where she analyzes the healthcare systems of two countries, very prominent healthcare countries in the world today, Denmark and New Zealand, she finds that even back in 2008, they were making next gen solutions to current gen problems. An example of this is using IT, information technology. They use this tech in order to a better able pull up patient records and get them the help they needed much, much faster than possible. I have to discuss with you today my three main points about my stance of national healthcare in the United States. Allow me to recap and gather your thoughts. Today I've tried to convince you that the United States should take up a stand that the United States should take up national healthcare. I've shown you that we have extreme prices, excessive commercialization, and the success that other first world nations have had utilizing this system. The implementation of national healthcare would be a massive paradigm shift for people in the United States, but it would better not only us, but the future generations to come of Americans, and it would alleviate the healthcare costs from their future life. You can start to move the United States to a system of national healthcare by being better informed on the topic and heading to the Debate on American Healthcare by the Hippocrates Med Review. Let me leave you with a quote from philanthropist Ron Williams. We have a moral obligation to get healthcare to people who need it. It is not only the job of the government to get people the help they need, but the common people to to move the government to make change for the better and to better the lives of not only us, but people to come in America. Thank you.